Hey guys, welcome to another review. In this review, I am reviewing The Walking Dead Series 4 Governor. Now, I'm reviewing this figure because I got him a while ago, and he was really cheap. He was like $5 on clearance, and then I had him for a little bit, decided to try to sell him, had him at a flea market for like $6 or something. No one would buy it, and then he ended up going into boxes in my garage, and then I forgot about him. Then he resurfaced, and now I have to review him because he's still in package. I don't think he's like rare or anything, but he's still worthy of reviewing. For some reason, mine won't stand straight when I set him up here, so I had to put something underneath it. Anyway, let's open him up after I take a look at the box. It says Series 4. I don't think, do they actually write out the series name anymore? Let me see. Let me take a look at a box. Nope, they actually write out the number instead of just putting the spelling of it. That's weird. It says warning, choking hazard, small parts, and small ball? Not for children under 3 years. Wait a second, small ball. Small parts and small ball. I guess that's his tiny little neck joint. But that's not a removable part. Why would... oh, whatever. And then here's the series. We get Rick Grimes with interchangeable hands and weapons. Even though they've got a picture of Rick Grimes there wearing his button-up, that's the exclusive there. It's a fair figure. If you're going to get any of the Walgreens exclusives, he's probably the best one, I'd say. Then there's Carl Grimes there. There's Andrea with the pitchfork. There's the Governor, and then Riker Zombie, and then Gas Mask Riker Zombie. Actually, the only one of these that I don't own is the Gas Mask Zombie. I'm gonna have to pick that up at some point. Okay. Photos are of action figure prototypes. Product specifications subject to change. Please retain packaging for future reference. 2013. Wow. That long ago. A whole 2 years, and now we're already 4 series of figures ahead. Do we have like 2 series of figures a year? I guess. Okay, whatever. Let's pull them out, and I'm also going to point out once he's out here, on the back of the packaging, we get a nice look at the prison in some sort of silhouette. And there's the Governor there, and it says, with alternate head, keys, watch, and weapons, based on the hit AMC TV series. Well, that's nice. Look, this is back when they used these hard plastic things. I hate those so much. I don't know. They're still easier, though, than the stupid rubber that they put on now. I always have to use a knife to get that off. Okay, now that that's free, let's pop him out. Wow, there's so many things on this guy that are so flashbacky. This has been just a little while ago, but everything's changed so much. First off, that pose in the package looks like crap. But see that leg articulation? We haven't had to suffer that in quite a while. And then just the paint and sculpt has been improved on so many figures that this looks really weird to look at. That's my cat messing around in the background, if you can hear that. Bye, kitty. Oh, no. Now let's pull out his head. Wow, there was no tape holding that in. That's rare. And of course, these heads always have trouble interchanging, so let's hope for the best while I'm doing that in my review. Let's pop out the pieces here, but these have tape on them. Oh. Let me pull out a knife or scissors. Just a simple slice. Come on. There we go. Pull that out. Now we've got his nice Beretta from the looks of it. And come to think of it, I think this is the same gun that came with Andrea, the comic series version. Let me see if I have her anywhere around to check on that. I didn't actually think that I would need her, so I don't know where I put her. Oh well. You guys tell me if you think it's the comic series. Aha, never mind. I found her. Okay, let's see if that is the same gun. Jeez. When has that ever happened? Here we go. Shot off across the room. Here we go. Yeah, this is the same gun, just painted differently. See that? Let me try and get some focus here. It doesn't want to focus. Wait. Almost had it, you big lug. Oh well. Well, you can definitely see it's the same gun just from silhouette alone. There we go. We actually get some high quality definition here. Yeah, it's got the same width, the same trigger, the same entire shape. So yeah, they were just... So for that, they reused this gun for her, as well as, I think, the regular Andrea. Let me see, I actually have that right here. There's her gun. Yeah. So this gun has been reused 3 times at least that we know of. That's ridiculous. Okay. So we have that. Let's get his nice knife out here. I'm going to hand this knife right to Negan because this seems more like Negan's knife than... I don't know. Did the governor actually use a knife? I think maybe once or twice, but that doesn't seem right to me. He has this baby knife. I think that's more of what he used. Let's pull that out. And there's all of his accessories. Let me set that aside. Okay, now we have the governor. This guy was a real scumbag in the show, but his figure is really nice, and David Morrissey, I've heard, is a really nice guy, so you can't really hate him all that much. As for getting a figure of him, I'm not quite sure why we had to, because, I don't know, it doesn't seem like he had that much of a following to the point where you would have to make a figure of him in Series 4 before you've had all the other main characters. Like, they made him before they made Glenn. Does it seem like they should have made him before they made Glenn? Not really, but he was okay. But then the fact that they made another one later in a Walgreens exclusive or something like that, yeah, it's just, they keep redoing stuff like that. I'm not a fan. Okay, let's take a look at his accessories first. First off, we get this tiny little knife. It looks rather nice. It's silver with a black handle. Handle has some silver spray over it. I'm not sure if that's intentional. And then can that fit in his hand? Oh my gosh, look how tiny his hands are. There's barely any room to stick anything in there. Urgh. Eesh. So this is before they made the figures better. They made their hands sculpted better for holding. Nowadays it seems like all of them can at least hold the accessories they came with. This governor can barely even hold this tiny little knife that everyone else drops. But yeah, there we go. Since he has such a tight grip, he holds it fairly well. And that's probably the only accessory that we're going to be able to stick in his hand there. And then if we do force anything in there, then he'll never be able to hold this knife again. So to really take in how he looks with that knife. The sculpt of the shirt looks really nice though. I'll get into that in a second. That's just shocking to me. Let's pull that out. And then here's his sheath, and it works, I'm sure. Shove that in there. Probably have it the wrong way. There we go. Fits in fairly nicely. Now let's get to his pistol real quick. Pistol does not want to go in hand. Yeah, from the sculpt of his hand, he can't actually hold this pistol right. I mean, he can hold it, but not in the correct way. He could hold it like he was going to hand it to someone. Here we go. Here, take this pistol. Go shoot me with that, because I can't stand life not being able to hold this basic figure weapons. But what are you going to do? Okay, the main part is, does it fit in his holster, which is a nice holster here. Let's see. It pops open, I think. Lift. There we go. That pops open, and now let's see. I think he stores his pistol this way, yeah. In a very strange position. That's the furthest it's getting in. Can it close back again? Nah, it's a very tight fit. It doesn't really want to close up again. It just slightly pops in there, but it's basic. There we go. So that's fair. Let's get the knife here. Accessory number 3. It's got a nice silver paint to it. Then a gold for the, I guess that's finger guard or something. What do they call that? Can't remember. And then the handle is a nice brown color. Sort of a wooden brown. But that's a huge handle, and I doubt he's going to be able to hold that even. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he can hold it fairly well. I mean, after stretching his fingers out to the point where it's ridiculous, he can hold it, and he can look really threatening with it. Not really, but he can hold it. Yeah. Okay, there's nowhere to store that, so I guess we just shove that up his... No, there's nowhere to store it, so we'll just set that down. There you go. Now let's take a look at the sculpt and paint, then we'll take a look at the articulation last. Let's get a good look at his face. Now here comes the fun part, guys, me trying to get the focus working. There we go. Yeah, I'd say that looks like David Morrissey. His eyes are very beady, though. I'm not sure if that's... Yeah, I suppose that does match up. His sideburns look nice. He's got very nice paint on his hair, as well as very nice sculpt. Every little hair put in there. Yeah, that's a good head. There's his key. It's got a string going around his neck. Nice pattern on his shirt. Looks very nice there. Back looks good. Some dirt on his back. I think that's intentional wear there. Very good wrinkles and folds in his shirt. Some musculature lines on his arm. There's his watch, which actually has like a little dot in the middle that you can see. No, it's actually got the number hands from the looks of it. One going that way, one going that way. And then it's got a brown strap leading all the way around. And is the other hand, it's got some sort of bracelet on. Not sure why he has a black bracelet. Okay, and then his belt, really nice. Some silver paint there. There's also some wear paint around his legs here. The buttocks also has some wear, some brown underpants. And then on his bottom pants, there's a lot more wear, you can see. It's like he's been scuffing up his pants in dirt or something. That's fair. And then his shoes look really nice. No bottom treads, but look at that, peg holes. That's like they were planning on having all of their figures standing up on some sort of stand. Haha, they never even bothered. Now let's move to taking a look at his head swap. Then we'll take a look at the head sculpt. Oh, goodness. I can feel the breaking. Okay, thank goodness. It didn't break or even stress. That was good. Okay, let me get the focus back on here. The focus is with this one. Pop it in there. It's very tight. Oh, gee. This is probably the cooler of the heads. Ugh, I have the fear of it breaking. I don't know. I've heard so many stories of people just having it pop off them, and it doesn't want to articulate all that much. It wants to, like, just move back to the front. Okay. Let's take a quick look at that sculpt, and let's compare it to this one, once I get the focus working, of course. Come on. Focus. There we go. Look at that. That looks nice. I like the little detail of the texture they put on the eye patch there. There's the line leading around his head. And it looks like it's the same sculpt of the head, just with a different eye sculpt. I don't know, maybe his mouth does look a little bit different. But very nice. Do his eyes have actually a color? Yeah, they're sort of blue. What's up with Walking Dead characters having blue eyes? Or Walking Dead actors, I suppose. They all seem to have blue eyes. I know Andrew Lincoln has blue eyes. Carol, she has blue eyes. I don't know, does Daryl have blue eyes? They all seem like they have blue eyes. I don't know. Let's move to articulation now. Head can do it can pop off. Let me put on the other head. It seemed more secure. Let me just take a quick look at this hole here. That looks like a bottomless pit. So weird. I think their head swaps have improved over the years. There we go. Okay, this head can do a full 360. Flug nugget. Broke off. Yeah, you stay. Well, I guess I'm going to have to remove that and put this head back on. But until then, the head can barely move because it's made like crap. It can look barely up and barely down. It can look side to side. There we go. Now the body. Full 360 at the shoulder, full 360 at the elbow, up and down motion here. His arm can get up to about a right angle. and then his arm can bend to almost a 90-degree angle. His wrist has only one articulated point for a spin, and then it can do the scratch at a wall pose and the dice roll pose. Same on the other arm, and then there's a little bit of give with the waist, so you can turn them off to the side. Then the legs can rotate at the thigh. He can sort of do the splits, sort of-ish. He can kick forward a bit if you turn his leg with it, and that can work on both sides here. Not to the point where he could actually sit, but to the point where it could work. Then his knee can do a full 360, as well as bending to about a 90-degree angle. That's pretty nice. Then his feet have a little bit of articulation, side-to-side movement, up and down. Yeah, on both. It's a little tight. Okay, now let's see if he can do the sit-down. Headless sit-down. Let me grab something here real quick. What do I got? Tacky. Let me pull that out. What this does is it gives a nice secure hold on stuff without having to glue it or anything. So this is just a temporary fix before I actually legitimately fix it. I prefer this head sculpt anyway because he always had an eye patch longer than he had his regular head. Anyway, let's just pull out the car here and see if he can do the sit down. Now let's see if you can drive this car. It kind of is fitting. He looks like a sleazy car salesman. Okay, let's move his legs into a sitting position, sort of, and let's stick him in there. Oh boy, it's no, kind of. Yeah, he sort of can drive the car. So if you want to get him in a sitting down, driving a car position, you can kind of get him in that position, believe it or not. Even with that old, crappy articulation, he can still sort of do it. Which, I mean, if you factor in the fact that this new figure can't even do that sit-down pose, then yeah, that's actually pretty good. So congrats, Governor, you're not the worst figure ever. You're the first one to break a head on me, but what are you gonna do? Okay, let me spin those legs around again. There we go. Very loosely fit there. Okay, well, tell me what you guys think of the review. What do you think of the figure? Will you ever buy this figure, or do you already own the figure? And make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.